Hey everybody, we are here at PAX 2014. I am Ray from the Media Cows, and I am here with Seth
Rosen
from Don't Starve Together, more specifically for this weekend. And why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you're bringing new to the table for the Don't Starve Together game.
Sure thing. So Don't Starve Together is the free multiplayer expansion we're working on for Don't Starve. So once it's ready, it'll just kind of appear in your game if you're playing on PC, Mac, or Linux. We're looking into whether or not we'll be able to get it onto PS4. We're not sure quite yet. We're hopeful, though. And basically what it is taking the same hardcore wilderness survival experience that you get in Don't Starve and bringing it to multiplayer. So you can do it with your friends, you can do it with strangers, make a private server, public server, dedicated, hosted. Really, we want people to be able to play in whatever way makes sense for them. And it's that same survival experience that you get in Don't Starve. And you'll as you're playing, you'll encounter other players, and you don't really know if they're necessarily going to be friendly or not. Like, they might take that axe and they might help you chop down that tree, or maybe they're going to take it and chop off your head instead.
Troll your friends.
Yeah.
Kill them while they're trying to just survive from the wilderness alone.
I like to say that it's a game that's cooperative as far as you trust your friends.
I can't trust my friends that well.
So it's very, yeah, I mean, it can devolve into massive combat pretty quickly.
Oh boy. So we've played it a little bit. We know that you can go after your friends if you want to, but accidentally chopping off your friend's head, that's not going to happen at all?
Yeah, we're making sure that it's always a deliberate action there. So by default, like, you have to basically press another key in order to go into, like, PvP mode, kind of. I mean, it's a more global thing, but yeah, like, if you want to attack your friend, it's going to be deliberate, and they're going to know that it's deliberate.
They're going to know that you basically said, I'm going after you.
Yeah.
Start out a whole war. Hope that you have a base near the pigmen to do the fighting for you.
Get some friends, bring them along, come out on top.
So, Dewey and I have played the demo just recently. There was the two of us. There was one or two other people in the game with us.
Yep.
Is it going to be 4 people, 10 people, 100 people?
So right now,
no pressure.
Well, it's funny you say that. So right now we have 4 players joining the same server here at PAX. So we can definitely support 4 players. Our programmer Mark, who's here actually, he's kind of the one who's in charge of all the networking stuff. And we've been doing some internal tests at the studio. We've had as many as 15 people in a server. So we're optimistic. We're not sure if we're going to be able to figure out all the technical problems, but it's quite possible that we'll be able to get those larger games. I mean, I don't want to promise anything, but I have heard him say the words 64. So
Ooh.
we'll see. We'll see.
Wow, that is a big number for the Don't Starve community to kind of sink their teeth into, if that's possible.
Yeah,
if that's possible.
That might be a little bit more ambitious, but kind of what we're hoping is that we can get to at least 16. But we'll see. We'll see where we get.
So with that number of people, hypothetically,
yeah.
You guys working on making larger maps, harder enemies, is surviving in itself harder?
So it can be. I mean, like, with those larger games, like, I think you'll start to see some sort of tribal behavior, which, like, you could get invaded by another group of people, and that's like totally outside of our control.
Mess up your whole day.
Yeah. But if everyone's cooperating, like, you can get a base set up way faster. So it'll be kind of dynamic in that sense as to whether it'll be more difficult. The tuning of, like, how frequently, like, the big monsters like deer clops spawn and how big the hound waves are based on, like, how many players are in the server is definitely something we'll be looking at. We're not sure quite what our plans are there, but it's something we're certainly mindful of.
So with the number of people that you can get into it, if you have a group of 4 friends, you're able to play with just those 4 without any outsiders, or is it always open to new people just online at any time?
You can make a private server or a public server. So if you want to play with just your friends, you make a private server, give them the password, and it's
awesome.
Just you guys. No one else will ever get into your world, but you can also do that thing where you join a public server and kind of come what may.
We'll have to have a Media Cow server where our fans can join.
That sounds
and
like a
play
blast.
With us. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just from playing the demo alone, it was really cool. Really makes me want to go home and boot up Don't Starve. Even though it's not out yet, just if Dewey went home and played it, and I played it right next to him, just to get that taste of something is really cool.
Yeah, and it will actually start to be available pretty soon. We're going to be entering closed beta around the end of September, and that'll start with just a few people, but we'll be slowly but surely adding more and more folks, and eventually it'll be the kind of situation where basically, like, if you want to play, you opt in and you get in.
Sweet.
I'm not sure how long it'll take to get to that point, but it will get there.
If people haven't watched the gameplay that Dewey and I have done here at PAX, go through how dying works, because that's new.
Yes.
For this.
Yes. So the one, like I was saying kind of before about how it is the same core Don't Starve experience, but the one thing we have changed mechanically is how death works. So touchstones you no longer activate in advance, and when you die, you no longer die outright. You turn into a ghost, actually, and basically it's kind of like a down state. So while you're a ghost, you have kind of a limited agency, and you're able to haunt stuff in the world, and different things have different responses. So if you haunt a tree, for example, generally haunting tends to be like a neutral or slightly good thing with a looming chance of catastrophe. I mean, it's Don't Starve, so it's appropriate.
Right.
And so if you haunt a tree, most times it'll just kind of do like one axe chop to it, but there's a chance it'll light on fire, and there's a chance it'll turn into a tree guard. So you got to be a little bit careful.
The tree guard.
But haunting also kind of like extends the amount of time that you can stay as a ghost for before you fully die. So you are actually encouraged to do some of that haunting.
Okay, so if you're not revived by a friend,
yep,
you will eventually just be dead.
Yep. So
and then the touchstone won't work for you?
Exactly. So while you're a ghost, you can go and haunt a touchstone, and that will activate it and use it. You'll get resurrected. If you find a friend who's made a telltale heart or found one, and they give you that heart as a ghost, you'll get resurrected. And bear in mind, this is like our alpha build, so this is all totally subject to change, but this is kind of where we're at right now. But we'd like that sort of ghost mechanic, and be able to do that co-op revival is really important, because it allows you to kind of bail your friends out of a bad situation, which I think is going to go a long way for that sort of cooperative type play.
Awesome. That's all I can do right now as far as questions go. I am super excited for when this game comes out. I just want to say thank you for
Thanks so much for
making
coming by.
it and
It's my
letting
pleasure.
us play and showing off to the public. This is the first time you guys have shown this off in the public?
It is. This is the first time anyone has played it outside of our office here at Pax Prime. So it'll be a free expansion. I don't know if I mentioned that. So if you own Don't Starve, it'll just get added when it's done. So grab it now, get familiar with it, so that you can jump right into the multiplayer mode once it's there. We've got a great expansion in Reign of Giants. You can check it all out on don'tstarvegame.com. Look for the announcement for the beta registration. That'll be coming sometime soon in the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Great.